The Brewers have two former players entering Cooperstown in 2025 in Dave Parker and CC Sabathia. They have 9 now, and so I wanted to take a look at who might be the next. I wrote an article about this, and so here it is in video form with a little bit of more of a deep dive into it in the article. Here's a little bit more of an overview on who that 10th player might be. So here are the candidates. I'll go through them pretty briefly because there are 13 players. Not all of them will be Hall of Famers. Not all of them may even appear on the ballot. But these are 13 guys that realistically maybe have a better than 0% chance at one day making it to Cooperstown. The most obvious candidate is Zach Greinke. Greinke was with the Brewers in 2011 and 2012. He's got all the numbers to be a Hall of Famer, over 70 wins above replacement. Clear-cut Hall of Famer. He is eligible in 2029 on the writer's ballot and should go in on the first ballot. Ryan Braun is eligible next year, but he's unlikely to even stay on the ballot with 5%. He's kind of a below, kind of a little bit below the threshold, but would receive some votes, but certainly the PED suspension works against him, so he probably won't make it any further on the ballot than 2026. There's K-Rod, who's currently on the ballot. He received about 10% of the vote in his third year of eligibility this year. He's top 5 all-time in saves with 437. His numbers are right in there, maybe a little bit on the lower end of relievers in the Hall of Fame, but certainly wouldn't make the Hall of Fame worse. That's kind of the minimum threshold. Does this player make the Hall of Fame worse? And I don't think K-Rod is in that spot. Billy Wagner received 10% in his first year on the ballot. K-Rod now in his third year on the ballot receiving that number. As far as current veterans go, there's Christian Yelich, and Yelich would need to have a little bit better production in the next 4 years of his contract to have a chance, but it certainly is possible. If he were to average what he did from 21 to 24 over the next 4 years, he would finish with about 2,100 hits. He would finish with about 300 homers, and the WAR number would be over 50, so certainly within the range, within the realm of possibility. He has 3 All-Star appearances so far. He won an MVP, and he also hit .315 last year. So maybe he continues that in 2025 at a healthier, with a healthier body, and is still able to do that even at age 33. There's also Andrew McCutchen, who's got kind of a similar case to Dave Parker, Pirates legend, former MVP, and the numbers are similar. He's someone that I would go probably no if I were to place money, but he does certainly have a chance at getting there, especially if he keeps compiling some numbers at the end of his career here in Pittsburgh. A few young guys that are far from the Hall of Fame in terms of production, but so far have played at a Hall of Fame level in their early careers are Josh Hader. Hader, if you were to take his career and maybe extrapolate it by 2, thinking he's about halfway through his career, his numbers are right there in line with that of Billy Wagner or any of the other dominant closers. Corbin Burns needs a little bit more volume. He's only thrown about 900 innings, and he is 30 years old. But if he's able to pick that up a little bit in the second half of his career, he's pitching at a level that he could make it there. Devin Williams is similar to Burns in that he needs significantly more innings to get there, but on an inning-by-inning basis, he's one of the best relief pitchers all time. Just that inning-by-inning total is pretty low. There's Jackson Chourio. I know it's pretty lofty to set that expectation on him, but he also was doing things that no players have done that besides some of the Hall of Famers, and even really some of the all-time greats like Willie Mays or Barry Bonds or Ken Griffey Jr. So Chourio, Hall of Famer, we'll see maybe in 2045, 2055, something like that. But he's someone that maybe he could get there, and one of the players on the younger side of this list. And then there are 4 veterans who could make it, or Veterans Committee guys who could make it. They're off the ballot already, but they could get there maybe the same route that Dave Parker took, as there's a committee that meets every year to discuss who should be a Hall of Famer. And those players are Jim Edmonds, who spent a half year in Milwaukee. His numbers are certainly Hall of Fame level, 900 OPS, I think about 6 to 8 gold gloves. He was great. There's Sal Bando, who was one of the key players on that three-peat A's team in the early 70s. He played for the Brewers later on, and his numbers are right up there as well. Excellent glove with a bat as well. Could hit. There's Gary Sheffield, who numbers-wise should be in the Hall of Fame, but maybe not there because of PEDs, and he got 60-some% in his last year of eligibility last year, and so because of that, he has been kind of kept out of the Hall of Fame. So he is one of those candidates. And then there's Willie Randolph. Randolph is probably the least likely to, but he's someone who's an excellent contact hitter. He hit .327 in his lone year with the Brewers at the tail end of his career. Excellent defensive second baseman. So he's somebody that has the numbers to be right in there with some of the other Hall of Famers. So there are 13 players that could be the next Brewer elected to Cooperstown. I won't go through all of them again, but Greinke probably the most likely, but there are others who could join him and the other 9 Brewers in Cooperstown one day.